Introduction to Computer Hardware. Basics you need to know opening. Welcome to our course on computer hardware basics. Whether you're a complete beginner or someone looking to brush up on the fundamentals, this video will guide you through the essential components of a computer and how they work together, with the course name. Quick montage of computer components: CPU, GPU, RAM, motherboard, etc. Introduction to computer hardware. What is computer hardware? Let's start by defining what we mean by computer hardware. Simply put, computer hardware refers to the physical components that make up a computer system. These are the parts you can touch and see, unlike software, which is the instructions and data the hardware processes. Visuals of various computer hardware components. Diagram showing the distinction between hardware and software. Text overlay with the definition of computer hardware. The central processing unit, CPU. At the heart of every computer is the central processing unit, or CPU. Often referred to as the brain of the computer, the CPU is responsible for executing instructions from programs and performing calculations. Close-up visuals of different CPUs. Animated diagram showing how the CPU processes instructions. Central processing unit, EPU. What is a CPU? The CPU is a chip located on the motherboard, and it's responsible for processing all the instructions your computer receives. How does the CPU work? The CPU performs basic arithmetic, logic, control, and input-output operations specified by the instructions in a program. Types of CPUs. CPUs come in different types, including dual-core, quad-core, and more, each suited for different levels of performance. The motherboard. The motherboard is the main circuit board of the computer, connecting all the different components and allowing them to communicate with each other. Visual of a motherboard with labeled components. Animation showing how the motherboard connects the CPU, RAM, GPU, and other peripherals. Text overlay. Motherboard. Subsegments. What is a motherboard? 2 minutes. The motherboard is the central hub that connects the CPU, RAM, storage, and peripherals. Key components of a motherboard. 4 minutes. Key components include the CPU socket, RAM slot, PCIe slots, and power connectors. How to choose a motherboard. 2 minutes. Choosing the right motherboard depends on the CPU, the amount of RAM, and the type of expansion slots you need. 5. Memory. RAM. 6 minutes. Narration. Random access memory, or RAM, is the short-term memory of your computer. It temporarily stores data that your CPU needs quick access to. Visuals. Visual of RAM sticks being installed in a motherboard. Animation showing how data is stored and accessed in RAM. Text overlay. Random access memory. RAM. Subsegments. What is RAM? 2 minutes. RAM is the memory your computer uses to store data that's being actively used. How RAM works. 3 minutes. When you open a program, it gets loaded from your hard drive into the RAM, where it can be quickly accessed by the CPU. Types of RAM. 1 minute. There are different types of RAM, including DDR, with each offering different speeds and performance. 6. Storage devices. 10 minutes. Narration. Storage devices are where your computer saves all of its data, from your operating system to your personal files. Visuals are different types of storage device. Diagram comparing storage speeds and capacities. Text overlay. Storage devices. Subsegments. Hard disk drive, HDDs. 3 minutes. To your traditional storage devices that use spinning disks to read and write data. Solid state drives. CDS. 3 minutes. US are faster than HDDs because they use flash memory to store data, offering quicker access times. AME storage. 2 minutes. AME drives are the fastest type of storage available, connecting directly to the motherboard via the PCIe slots. Choosing the right storage. 2 minutes. When choosing storage, consider speed, capacity, and cost. 7. The graphics processing unit, GPU. 8 minutes. Narration. The graphics processing unit, or GPU, is responsible for rendering images, videos, and animations. It's especially important for tasks like gaming, video editing, and 3D rendering. Visuals of GPUs. Animation showing how a GPU processes graphics. Text overlay. Graphics processing unit, GPU subsegments. What is a GPU? 2 minutes. The GPU is a specialized processor designed to handle complex calculations required for rendering graphics. How the GPU works. 4 minutes. The GPU takes data from the CPU and converts it into images and videos that can be displayed on your monitor. Integrated versus dedicated GPUs. 2 minutes. The integrated GPUs are built into the CPU and are sufficient for basic tasks, while dedicated GPUs are separate cards that provide more power for demanding applications. Late. Power supply unit, PSU. 5 minutes. Narration. The power supply unit, or PSU, converts electricity from your wall outlet into a form that the computer components can use. Visual of a PSU and its connections to the motherboard. Diagram showing the power distribution from the PSU to various Components, text overlay, power supply unit subsegments. What is a PSU? 2 minutes. The PSU is responsible for supplying power to all the components in your computer. Choosing the right PSU, 3 minutes. So when selecting a PSU, consider the wattage, efficiency rating, and the number of connectors needed for your components. A 9. Input and output devices, 6 minutes. Narration, input and output devices are the peripherals that allow you to interact with your computer and receive feedback. Visuals of common input devices, keyboard, mouse, and output devices, monitor, printer. Diagram showing how data flows between input-output devices and the CPU. Text overlay. Input and